Good morning, you guys. It is another beautiful day in Fort Worth, Texas. As you can see, the sun is. Can you see the sun? I don't know. You can see the pinkness though. It looks actually really beautiful outside. Um, so yeah, today we are going to be yapping about battling fatigue, and this is something that resonates very much with me. At this very moment, even though I'm maintaining my weight, honestly, I don't even. I was doing some calculations, and since I do intensely work out 6 out of 7 days of the week. Um, but I was calculating my maintenance based on I think like 3 to 4 days of intense workout. So it was like daily exercise or and 3 to 4 days of intense. I don't even know if it was intense. It might have been moderate. I don't know. But I think because I've been pushing myself to do way more exercise, like almost every day except one day where I have a rest day, and even on my rest day I still walk like 12,000 steps. Like I still have a step goal of 12,000, so it's like I'm not just chilling the whole day. So I think my maintenance honestly is probably like a lot higher. And when I was calculating it for like intense workout, like 6 to 7 days a week on the calculator, it was actually higher. It was like 2,800 instead of 2,500, which is what I've been eating. It was like 2,800. So I legitimately might be in a deficit still. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. I don't know if I should bump up the calories to 2,800, because on I was planning on maintaining for like a month straight, just kind of balance myself out, let my body kind of, because I was going through a lot of stress, mental stress. I wanted to let my body kind of chill out, so at least I wasn't intentionally putting myself under so much stress from dieting. So I was gonna go up to maintenance for like a month, and then I was gonna cut really aggressively for like 2 weeks right before I go back to school, which would work pretty well because it's not like I'm gonna gain much weight. I'm already pretty lean, so like me maintaining my weight right now is not a bad idea, especially if I'm just gonna cut off that last percentage of fat in a couple of weeks, which I know I can attain very easily. It would be very aggressive, of course. I would go from like 2,800. Like, say if I bumped up my calories to 2,800, then I would go from 2,800 to 1,800, which would be an insane shift. But I know I'm capable of it. I just have to decide if I want to increase my calories again, because I feel like I should. I feel like how hungry I be right now, like eating 2,500 calories, I'm still like a little bit hungry, bro. I can probably eat a little bit more, and I might try that. Honestly, I might try that just to maintain properly, so I can like try to put on some more muscle in this time. So I think that's what I'll do, and I'll see if I gain any fat. I don't think I will, though. I really don't think I will. If I keep up my intensity, then I don't think I will. But yeah, this is about battling fatigue. Sorry for yapping. I went on a little tangent about myself, but basically battling fatigue, man, it's one of the major experiences that people struggle with during dieting, and it is one of, if not the most difficult part, because anytime that you're fatigued, all you want to do is seek comfort, and that's the number one thing. Like when you have like addictions and stuff like that, and you're dieting and you're trying to lose weight, those comforts were really, honestly, I think dieting, one thing that's like so good about dieting is like you could look at this like a bad thing, while like that it's bringing out your deepest comforts in addictions, or it's like heightening them. But I think it's a good thing, bro, because the fact that you're able to really see what are your biggest addictions and what your biggest comforts are that you're seeking, and what you need to work on the hardest when you're dieting, because you're pushing yourself, you're intentionally putting yourself through this process that your body doesn't see as natural. So, and your body your body doesn't see it as natural, so it's fighting back constantly, and then it leads you to seeking your comforts, your most desirable comforts and addictions. So it really reveals a lot about yourself. It shows you like what you need to improve, like what addictions you need to improve on, what comforts you need to, basically what you need to do less of. So like, whether you're dieting or not, everyone has like these addictions and these comforts that they seek, and dieting really just like heightens that need for those addictions and desires, and it really just like shows you yeah, like I'm kind of circling right now, but what is the word? Yeah, I had a little bit of a feedback loop right there. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like it reveals reveals a lot of your problems, basically. So I think it's good in that sense. If you look at it like, damn, I almost got attacked by a dragonfly. Dragonflies are low-key chill though, so he wouldn't have attacked me. But it reveals what you really need to improve on. And I also I want to go back to what I was saying. Your body like doesn't see it as natural. Like it's basically doing, like, from a biological standpoint, it doesn't see it as like safe, you know what I mean? Because when you're losing weight, your body wants to protect you. It sees it as a threat to your life, to your safety, even though it's not really that deep. Unless you're like starving yourself, then that, you know, that's different. Okay, that's a problem. But if you're dieting responsibly, your body's still going to be like, oh, it's going to see you losing weight, like you're losing calories, and that guy's a chud. But it's going to see you losing like, fuck, what am I trying to say, bro? When you're restricting yourself, your body sees it as just like a threat to your life, you know what I mean? It puts you in danger mode. So which raises your cortisol, and your cortisol is like your stress hormone. So basically when you're dieting, you're intentionally adding more stress to your life. So it's like, it's really just like, it's a hard process. You got to understand, you're intentionally putting yourself through this process. So you have to also shift your mindset, that's like, yeah, I'm not just suffering to for no reason. I'm suffering for a reason, you know what I mean? I'm suffering for a greater purpose. I want to be a better version of myself. So if you understand that, and you understand what it's actually doing to your body, then I think you would have a lot better of an idea of, hold up. All right, since I kind of like don't know what I'm talking about, like I know what I'm talking about, I just kind of like, I'm all over the place right now. I'm just gonna give you guys my experience, so or my personal like how I kind of counteract everything, or counteract fatigue. And basically, so usually I don't feel very much fatigue in the morning. That's kind of like a natural thing. If you wake up in the morning, like doing what I'm doing is the best thing you can do for yourself. Getting up early and going for a walk, getting some of that sunlight, you know what I mean, get some of that natural energy. Whenever you wake up, you're at the peak of your energy. So no matter if you're dieting or not, you're at the peak of your energy. So you need to be taking advantage of this time to well, first of all, the first hour of your day, I mean, I could save this for a whole nother video, but the first hour of your day's work, you kind of get your mind in the right place. But then after that, like, you get your plan, your goal for the day. And then after that, once you're like, your mind has been like, once you're actually awake after, like, I'd say like an hour to an hour and a half, and your brain is fully like locked in, then that's when you want to commit or do your most important task. So when you're dieting, you're gonna be fatigued no matter what. But when you're in the morning, if you're like fasted, and you're at the peak of your natural like cortisol rise, because your body is gonna when every morning your cortisol does rise. So like your stress is heightened, but your like alertness and your energy is also heightened due to that factor, because your body's just trying to wake you up, right? So all of your stats are going to be boosted, you know what I mean? So if you have something really important to do and you're experiencing a lot of fatigue throughout the day, then you want to try to accomplish the most important thing that that you like. Say like if I wanted to edit my YouTube videos, but I'm waiting till the afternoon to do them, and I'm just tired and I feel like I can't really lock in on them, well then the best thing for me to do, because I know that no matter what I'm gonna be fatigued when if I'm losing weight, if I'm dieting, I would shift that important task to first thing in the morning. Not the very first, but like after my morning routine and everything, that's when I would shift it to. So I have the most energy output put towards that, and then everything else can just come after. Everything else that's not super important can just come after. So that's the way you could use your morning to your advantage to battle the fatigue. Otherwise, there's not really much you can do, bro. I mean, there's not. Just be patient, bro. I'd say the more aggressively you diet, the more fatigue you're gonna experience, and it's really just up to how much you can put up with, because you're gonna experience fatigue no matter what. Obviously, there are some things you can do to improve that, but or we are back in the cribbo. Like I said, there are some things you can do to improve fatigue temporarily. Like, of course, you can like take a nap or you know, drink caffeine, but those aren't always the most optimal things. So you have to accept that you're gonna be experiencing fatigue most of the time. But if you can find a window where you're least fatigued and kind of like reflect on that and take note of that time where you have the least fatigue, and if there's something really important you want to do, make sure you're doing that during that window. And if not, bro, then it's just like, damn, you know what I mean? You just gotta know, man, you're not alone. Anyone else who's dieting, anyone else who has dieted has been through the same experience. It's hard, man. It's really hard, and it's tempting. You know, you want to give up very, very quickly. Honestly, you want to give up, but I'd say it progressively. It doesn't necessarily get easier, the feeling of fatigue, but it becomes more natural, and you become more familiar with it, and you develop kind of habits around that to kind of balance it out. Hopefully those are healthy habits and not unhealthy habits. I still have unhealthy habits surrounding them, so like I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best, you know what I mean? And hopefully one day, whenever I find I don't think I'm gonna find the secret, but once I find we'll just say once I find the secret formula, you guys are gonna know. It's gonna be out here on YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's just do the physique check. Man, I feel like I was actually doing good right there. Like the start of the video was kind of slow. I was just kind of yapping all over the place, but then the end was kind of hard. So yeah, man. Physique check. I'm trying to get a thumbnail. Alright, that should be a good enough thumbnail. Alright. But yeah, fatigue, man. It's not gonna it gets better, I promise. It gets better, but it never goes away. So just keep that in mind if you're ever trying to diet, and hopefully in the future, in the very near future, I can be the one to help you with that process with my guidance. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. But have a good rest of your day. Peace.